the all clear by so many people, and you know, I was very close to getting back riding.
And how does that work in terms of, obviously, some people said you're okay when he went to the BHA.
Yeah, Dr. Turner, he's been there 20 years. You know, I think he told me he'd looked after 2 million rides, 80,000 falls, and 16,000 injuries. I think was what he looked after since he's been there. So he'd been there a long time, and he'd seen a lot of injuries, and he just wasn't happy. So it went to a review panel, and I went to see someone else then, and they explained to me that if I had the same fall again, I wouldn't get up, and I was very lucky to get up in the first place. So it was then I kind of had to make the decision myself. Well, there was no decision to be made, you know, because you are going to get similar falls, or if not the same fall. So I had to call it a day. And your training career, I see that you showed a profit for Seamus Mullins and Milton Harris and Kathy Hamilton, and people like that. So I mean, what was it like to when you were riding? And obviously, I spoke to you beforehand. Your favourite courses, and I guess you don't miss the getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning part of it, do you? Oh, I'd get up at 4 o'clock if I could go back and do it again.
Yeah.
But you know, that's just not the way it is.
And in terms of riding courses, what was your favourite course that you rode on?
I like Chepstow. Is always a nice course to ride. All the lads will say that. It's straightforward. The fences ride nice, especially for novice chases. I was lucky around Wincanton, Fontwell, Plumpton. They were kind of local tracks to Seamus Mullins, who was my boss for the years I rode. So yeah, they were kind of. I probably had most of my winners around them tracks.
And in terms of riders now, who do you think we should be following? I mean, obviously Gavin Sheehan is cracking in the winners, and
yeah, he's a very good up and coming.
And Tristan Davis, another young up and coming jockey as well.
Yeah, there's plenty. You know, there's a lot of younger lads now. There'll probably be a bit of a changing of the guard in you know, a couple of years' time, when I suppose AP decides to retire, which could be 10 years' time, you don't know. But there's a lot of good young talent coming up through. And
what was it like to be in the weighing rooms with these, you know, giants of the sport, if you like, AP McCoys? Were they often giving you advice, or were they on their own?
I mean, when I came to England first, I mean, these guys were my heroes. You know, Timmy Murphy, AP McCoy, Dickie Johnson, you know, these are people you watch on telly every day and you thought, oh, I'd love to be able to ride like them or do what they do. And actually, when you get involved and you start riding and you get a few winners and people recognise you, everyone is just the same in the weighing room. So long as you respect the older people, like the AP, McCoy, Dickie Johnson, Warren Marston, he was a great help to me when I started riding. People like that, you know, you obviously you look up to them, but you have a lot of respect for them, so you don't want to try and be someone you're not in there. And everyone is like, it's like a family, as they say, when you're in the weighing room.
I was just a question of obviously a new chapter in your sort of career. Have you ever thought of the training side of things? Yeah,
I have. Of course, I have. But it's hard to get into training. You know, training, I suppose, it's not easy. But the hard part is getting owners and getting horses and buying a place, and you know, just.
Well, we'd obviously start off as normally the route is the assistant trainer role, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then sort of go from there.
Which is I've plenty of ideas of that at the minute, but there's nothing really concrete.
Maybe have a horse with you one day.
Yeah.
Well, in an ideal world, you'd be sitting presenting a show like this in a couple of years' time. So if Racing UK and any of the big boys are watching this guy, I'm sure he'd be happy to join you. On a final note, I mean, do you obviously have a passion for racing? I mean, do you now, are you able to have a bet on the horses now and freely now and things like that? So you make your own judgment now, I guess. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, people do say, you know, jockeys, all they have to know, they surely they know what's going to win. If they did, like, they'd all be millionaires. It just doesn't happen. You know, and
we saw from the first race.
Exactly, yeah. But even horses you're riding, and people say, "Oh, surely you know you're a jockey." Jockeys don't really know. They know as much as you. I mean, someone who reads form would probably know better. But it's nice to be able to have a bet. Not that I have a big bet.
And people forget also that these are animals. So,
yeah, exactly.
You know, you don't. And we saw with Sprinter Sacra that you know.
They're not machines.
They're not machines.
No, no way.
And
they get out of bed in the morning the same as us. You know,
can
they
you
might
feel
not
though when you know, like obviously you would have rode the same horses a few times. Once you've jumped a couple of hurdles, a couple of fences, and when you was riding, did you get the sense that the horse wasn't quite right? Can you sense it with the horse, or do you just?
Oh yeah, a lot of the time. You know, if you know the horse and you know the way they travel, a lot of the time you can go down to the start and you can say, I'm beat already, you know, before you even jump off, because they don't feel right, or sometimes they can be keen going down to the start, or sometimes they, you know, they'll be very relaxed and they might be a bit lit up. So there is lots of different things that can change your way of thinking. And I mean, when you come out of the parade ring down to the start, you know, a lot can change, or you can think, your mind can change of what you think could happen. You know, you could be on the favourite and he could have won his last 2 or 3, but he might just not feel up to scratch, or he might just feel a bit lethargic. Or
what was one of the nicest horses that you rode?
A horse called Terrible Tenant. I used to ride it round Wincanton, and I was brilliant. You could shut your eyes riding him, you know. My granny could have ridden him. He was that good.
Did he run in the brown with the little...
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
The brown with the white stripes.
He was a consistent horse. I think I won once of him, but he was just a consistent horse, and he loved his job.
A lot of it's about rhythm as well, though. Courses like Sandown, if you don't get into a rhythm, you've got no chance.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, that's where, you know, it's jump racing, and you've got to jump to win.
Yeah.
Important when you get to know a course. So I go to Fontwell and Plumpton all the time. You see Jamie Moore, Leighton Aspel, just as happy to have them on your horse as AP run those courses.
Yeah.
And
Philip Hyde used to be a master around Fontwell, Plumpton, all them. Again, Gary Moore, he worked for Gary. And
Mark Goldstein's good as well.
Yeah, you know, it is. Plumpton, Fontwell, you know, because it's a figure of 8 and you've got the bends. I used to like being on the inside rail at the bottom bend, and I didn't mind being on the outside rail at the top bend. That was just my way, you know, especially for if you turn into the home straight on the last time, at least you might be able to get a bit of a blow in on the bend when the other horses are a bit wider. That's only, you know, simple things.
Thanks very much indeed for that insight, Jimmy.